Hello, my name is Zachary Henricks. This is my presentation on analyzing mass media and pop culture. So we see here our first, the magazine we're going to be going through is going to be analyzing People magazine, a very popular brand. I remember growing up, my mom would read these all the time and always see what's happening in celebrities' lives. They focus primarily on pop culture, celebrity happenings, and then in lifestyles, trends, with diets and just fun things to do overall. I remember, yeah, my mom growing up would read these all the time and find out all her celebrity gossip and everything going on with their lives just through this. And as we can see, the target audience for this magazine is projected to be young adult to middle-aged women. The one of the ages I saw was around 18 to between 18 and 45 years old. So yeah, this is the magazine I'm going to be analyzing today. These are a few, just three of the various ads within this magazine. This magazine was very long, and there was just a ton of advertisements. So I just picked three that I thought were kind of interesting. Just reading through this, just kind of flipping through it, just trying to find stuff that like caught my eye. So here we see ads, various different kinds of ads. First one we see is one for a deodorant or like a lotion, just kind of general skincare. We have one for contraceptive or Plan B pills, and then lastly we have like a hemp extract, like gummy. That's yeah, a weed supplement essentially. These targeted ads are towards a wide variety in the age range for the audience, so a wide variety of women. They cover a variety of needs for women of varying ages. And I think primarily what's united about all three of these is that they emphasize the comfort and security of the women that they're advertising to. So they're really pitching the comfort and the betterment of a lifestyle for the women that they're trying to sell these products to. So the first one we're going to examine here is the Ivory Skincare one. This is focused on direct product advertising, so there's nothing really crazy subliminal about it, nothing like I would say manipulative about it. It's just appeals to a female desire for skincare as a form of self-care. We see that slogan, full of gentle care, free of worries. It appeals to desire for like cleaner skin without the worry of dryness or cracking. Yeah, so as we go in here, we just see it's very plain, very simple ad. It's very bright, so it's kind of hard to see here on the slide, but they're very serious about ensuring assuring these women that they're advertising to that it's approved by PETA, it's approved by doctors. There's no dyes, no parabens, no aluminum, baking soda, none of the stuff that's going to harm their skin. It's good for the environment. Yeah, so this ad is very very concerned with just making the reader feel like they can trust the seller, the producer, and that they can be a safe consumer and enjoy it guilt free almost. So yeah, that's just a little interesting. It's nothing too crazy about this ad specifically. Second one we have here is the Plan B or the One Step. This is an advertisement, obviously, for an emergency contraceptive or a Plan B pill. It's, I would say, targeted towards a younger female audience. It's strategically placed within the magazine to catch the eye of any, sexually active readers. So just a little bit. This one requires a little more reading. I would say by the by the reader of the magazine. But they use softer colors, kind of more a unified, cohesive look. You kind of have to look deeper and read it more clearly. You have to slow down and actually like if you're really interested about it, you'll slow down and basically read like what the smaller text says. But it's also very focused on confidence and ensuring the comfortability of the user, of the reader who might be needing this the contraceptive at this point. At this point, you see here like the phrase like "I've got this." It's a woman, with a strong, confident look on her face. Like, so this is a little more like maybe pathos, like not manipulative, I guess, but more so just like reassuring the woman that that she's okay. Not that I necessarily like agree that it has necessary consistent uses, but I mean, yeah, I would say that this is an example of like an ad that I would say makes it feel more safe, makes them feel more secure in using a Plan B pill, and yeah, feeling safe in their lifestyle, for better or worse, a bit safer in their lifestyle. So the third and final ad that we see here is for the Charlotte's Web. It's like a hemp extract, like a gummy. I don't know exactly what it is. Yeah, it's like a lemony flavored gummy for like, but with hemp. It's emphasizes calmness and relaxation. I would say that this advertisement is targeted towards a middle-aged to older female audience. Just reading this magazine, it's strategically placed within the magazine to attract an audience who may feel overwhelmed or stressed. Um, And you could see here like the phrase "calm unlike any other" suggests the thought of the product bringing a calmness that's lacking in one's life. So you might have like a busy mom, or a work stressed wife or something like that might be reading through this magazine and see this, and see the immediately, like they'll see up here the calm like any other, and they're like, dang, like maybe this might be good. I might want to try this. And I think that the advertising, as we'll see here, it has the neutral color, the very simple, very clear cut, like title, and then you kind of, it's not advertised directly as marijuana, but they're making it very clear that it is a marijuana-based substance, obviously. And I feel like this might be strategic in, you know, reassuring anybody who might be reading in that taking it's not going to make them a drug addict or make them a pothead or something. Like, this is something that they can take as a person, for their relaxation. We see here a couple older women are featured in this advertisement, one with the warmer lighting, calm. She's taking it like happily with a smile on her face, and I can only assume this is a woman who looks happy after having taken it. So yeah, that's just a smaller, like a lighter example of a way that the company is maybe diverting the attention of the reader off of the weed aspect, and more of like the happiness, the betterment aspect, how this can make their lives better. So it's very interesting. We see across all three of these ads that they're very focused, very, very focused on making these things seem normal, like something that they can do to make their lives better, that they need it now. So it's not necessarily like really loud, out loud, like, blasting advertising really necessarily, but it is, they're very subliminal, more so in their advertising, that they can make the woman feel secure and safe in their consumption of the product. So next, and lastly, we're going to go into these five sociological concepts that are covered. I believe are covered throughout these three ads. So we'll go here. We'll start with reference groups. They employ the usage of reference groups. I would say the slogans utilized in the ads. You have the gentle and carefree, and the calm unlike any other. The suggested usage by a larger group of people. They can testify to the results of the product in daily life. We see like the pictures of the women in the hemp ad one, and the strong woman in the second ad. So while this isn't necessarily like, this is more of like a smaller scale version of this, it's I would say a subliminal, like it might trick the reader into thinking that other people have approved of approved of these products, right? And so the second one would be a micro form of social control. This urges their audience to purchase their products in order to better their life. So it's kind of calling for, all women like want to, feel safe, want to feel secure, want to feel calm, want to feel like good about themselves. They want to feel pretty, and they want to feel, safe and secure. And I think that this is an example that promotes a group cohesion in society. Thirdly, we have that these ads are primary example of consumption in our society. This is kind of a more obvious one, I think, but it's just kind of a testament to our society. It's implied that the magazine itself has already been purchased in the first place. I'm using an old magazine that I just found in my house, but the ads within the magazine, push the reader to consume more by purchasing their products that they've already purchased in the magazine. This is kind of interesting. It's this layers within layers of consumption that's very deeply rooted, very deep set in society, as it's made clear by these advertisements. The fourth one we have is taste publics. So while these advertisements appeal to a variety of female age groups, they are part of a trend that suggests a certain type of person with similar interests and leisures, that they read this magazine, that they read it often. So yeah, beyond just the three, I did go through, and I saw a lot more. I saw like NyQuil ads, and different, like, underwear ads and things like that. There, so while yeah, it applies to younger women, older women, there is this unifying like theme of like comfort and security that these ads all kind of unify with. And I think that pushes the idea that these are a similar kind of woman that is purchasing these magazines generally. So I'm not going to make a generalized statement, but I believe that it is indicative of a taste publics where there is um, there is a certain type of person with similar leisures, similar interests, similar lifestyles, even, that purchase the magazine. And then lastly, we kind of talked about this a little earlier. Active audiences. These ads obviously operate under the assumption that the audience is actively reading the magazine, as they don't immediately jump out at you or get your attention, but rather they are mellow and visually and linguistically. They are mellow visually and linguistically, requiring an active participation in reading of the magazine. So if I were to go back through the three, you would see there's a kind of a not a bit of reading. I say a bit of reading. That's a long term, but just a lot of reading required to get through them, and I think that's indicative of they're operating under the assumption that they're reading the magazine. They're reading every word so that when they stop and they see the next page, they see their ad, that they'll read those words too and be convinced, especially if it's something that they feel like they need, like Plan B pill or the hemp extract or skincare lotion. So it's a spectrum, but I do think that these advertisements operate under the assumption that People magazine readers are active audiences. So yeah, that's my presentation all in all. Yeah, and so thank you for reading. Here are my references down in the corner, and yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you.